Twitter. I think it's having a pretty fundamental role. I think the interesting thing is that we often use the term it was broken by Twitter, and that's not true. It might have been broken on Twitter, and it was broken by people who always had the story first, which is the people who are witnessing the event. You know, the passers-by, the people, like in my presentation I talked about Wesley Shearer, who was involved in the Glasgow helicopter crash. He would have always had that story first. It's just that he's communicating about it now via a platform that gives journalists incredible visibility. And I think it's, as a journalist myself, I think it's just the most exciting tool. It's this incredible database of potential sources and eyewitness accounts. So it's quite a fundamental change. So I think there was an interesting talk by Aaron Pilhofer from the New York Times yesterday, who said that in terms of how they regulate social media within the New York Times, it's very simple. They tell people not to be stupid, and they tell people that you have to treat publishing things on Twitter like speaking to a live microphone. And I think he made the point that the reason that they aren't giving more restricted information, or why their policy is not more restrictive, is because the benefits of allowing people to communicate on the platform far outweigh the risks involved when one or two people may say something that feels slightly against what a press office may want them to say. So I think that's a really good case study in terms of the benefit of it, and there's still absolutely a role for people who are skilled communicators to help and to guide and to be those people that people can come to for advice when they want to talk on these platforms. I think for me, where I feel very passionate about as representing the news organisations, the UK news organisations, and what they do and how they news gather to Twitter to help developers internally understand the sorts of barriers or issues that journalists face in the course of news gathering, and to look at if we can do something to help. I think another thing that really interests me is the effect that news gathering can have on people who use social media, and again, whether there's things that as an organisation, as a platform, can we do things to help with that. So I think that's a really exciting area, and I think that and another one being verification skills. So why I talked about it today is that I just think it's an area where we're seeing increasing need and not enough trained people to fill the gaps. So being able to kind of spread the word about that and begin people on the journey to becoming interested in having solid, good verification, skills is really important.